everyone, this is Into the Fray. It is July 14th, 2021. I wanted to get on here real quick and do an update on what's been happening here in Missouri. It's so crazy what what happened. It was around 12:30 that this happened today. There was an earthquake that was reported in Osage Beach, Missouri today in Benton County. It was 28 miles southwest of Sedalia, Missouri. It was 11:38 a.m. My bad. That was at 11:38 that this happened. It was at a depth of 20 kilometers, and it was a 3.8. Now, we live about 2 hours from Osage Beach, kind of west of there, thereabouts. So we heard a loud booming. Well, my husband did, because I was not at home at the time. I always miss all the good stuff, you know. But my husband heard the loud booming sound, and in the nearest, like, kind of major city next to us, about 20 minutes away, they heard the booming, and they also had some shaking going on. I saw some reports of that. So this is not something that we expect, you know, in this area where I live, which is it's kind of like over in this area, you know, over here where we live. We just don't ever have these kinds of occurrences. But so yeah, there was, you know, an earthquake there. It's still unconfirmed. USGS still hasn't reported it on their website. I don't know if they will or not, because they don't like to report certain things. But so it was a 3.8. People felt shaking, you know, loud booming noises. So I just kind of wanted to get on here and report that it's just something that you just don't expect. But we know that there will be earthquakes in diverse places, as, you know, in Matthew 24 talks about in these last days. There's lots of things that keep occurring, keep happening. I also wanted to talk a little bit. They're talking about gas shortages with the Flying J. I think it's Flying J, but also like Pilot. There have been some talk of that. A couple of people have been reporting on that happening. They don't have any shortages as of yet, but supposedly they have been doing their last shipment to the centers, the gas stations, and they're going to not be able to deliver any after that, supposedly. That's what they're talking about. So kind of, if you can, you know, keep your gas tanks filled up as best you can, and any extra, just in case. I would keep an eye on it just to see what happens in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and see what transpires. I don't know if it will or not, but you never know. So it's always just a good idea to have extra gas on hand if you can, store it, and also to keep your gas tanks in your vehicles filled. And still, there's a lot of shortages. They've been talking about, you know, in California with the droughts, you know, the western part of the United States. There have been some protests. Protests happening in Cuba over the weekend that happened. And even in Florida, because there's a large population of Cubans there in Florida, around Miami. It looks like they're having another round of protests happening there. They've been protesting in Cuba the food shortages that they're going through there, and the high prices of food that they've been having. I looked on here. There was an article. It was on Sunday that came out. I think it was USA Today. I can't remember. They were talking about that the government in Cuba shut down their internet while they were doing the protesting. Let me see if I can find that. Oh yes, here we go. This is from USA Today. This was on July the 11th. We are fed up. Thousands of demonstrators throughout Cuba protest shortages and rising prices. Thousands of Cubans took part in protests around the country Sunday, demonstrating against food and medicine shortages. Oh wow, I didn't catch that. Medicine shortages too. Amid the Corona pandemic, in what has been said to be the biggest anti-government protest in 30 years. Protesters, many of them young people, chanted, "We want freedom and we want back," or toxins. Sorry, I keep forgetting, I can't say that word. As they marched on Havana, the island's capital. Cuba is going through its worst economic crisis in decades, exacerbated by a surge in the corona cases, coupled with a low toxin rate. Toxination. I don't know. I don't know how you say that. I guess toxination. "We are fed up with the queues, the shortage. That's why I'm here," one middle-aged protester told the Associated Press. He declined to identify himself for fear of being arrested later. Outside of Havana, hundreds of people marched through cities like San Antonio de los Baños and Palma Soriano, and throughout the province of Artemisa. Protests even extended as far as the U.S. in Miami, which has a sizable Cuban and Cuban-American population. And here's a picture of what happened. There was a scuffle. And yeah, this was Sunday, July the 11th. So then it says, although many people try to take out their cell phones and broadcast the protest live, Cuban authorities shut down internet service throughout the afternoon. Officers also charged protesters, barraging them with tear gas and arresting some. Let's see. Oh yeah, the president, he said this: "As if pandemic outbreaks had not existed all over the world, the Cuban-American mafia, paying very well on social networks to influencers and YouTubers, has created a whole campaign and has called for demonstrations across the country," President Miguel Diaz-Canel told reporters. So they shut down the internet. So, guys, this is what's coming here to us. Now, I would share this video that I saw on here, but, I can't get any confirmation on this. They were saying there was forced toxins in Argentina. They were going door to door this month, and there was, a video of this guy on the roof, and they were, holding him down, doing, a forced toxin on him. I can't confirm that. I had talked to somebody. I had asked them a question on YouTube. I still haven't gotten a response back on that one, so I don't know if that is true or not. This is just another article that I found on Sunday. North Korea faces 860,000 ton food shortage. They're forecasting. They're saying that grain production will fall about 1.1 million tons, short of the amount needed. So we just need to store as much as we can, prepare for this. And then also what was brought to my attention, what I saw was this, the 12th, July the 12th. Isolation and quarantine for rural, can't talk, communities. It's hard to say that one. This is the course description. It's an 8-hour instructor-led course. It's designed to provide the knowledge necessary to begin planning for situations requiring the isolation and quarantine, or I&Q, of a large portion of a local rural population. This training will provide public and private sector emergency managers, community policymakers, public health, and public safety personnel with the general knowledge necessary to begin planning for situations requiring the isolation and quarantine of a large portion of a local rural population. A rural community's ability to collectively respond to an emergency requiring isolation and quarantine is not only essential to minimizing the negative impacts to the community at risk, but also to minimizing the long-term negative economic and health effects on the American public as a whole. And so they're doing this class on I&Q. situations in rural communities. And I'm going to put the link to this website down in the description box for everybody, and the other articles and stuff that I was talking about, I'll link them down below in the description. This is the Rural Domestic Preparedness Consortium, the Center for Rural Development. I have never honestly seen or come across this before, so this is very interesting because I live in a rural community. So yeah, this is very interesting, and you know, they're telling us what is going to happen before it does happen. So I just wanted everybody to kind of have an idea of what's going on here. So that's all I have for today. Please hit that like button if you would, and share the videos, and I will see you guys later.